So you going to my birthday party? It's on the 20th.
Actually, I go to Mexico every spring break, so I think I'll be out of town.
Oh, is it for vacation or one of those mission trips?
Well, it's a mission trip, I guess. My church and a whole bunch of other churches around Oregon have been going to this tiny little town in Mexico for about 27 years building houses, and we've created this really cool bond with the community, and so now we go down and help them with other things besides housing, like purifying their water and the education system. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, Brent and Cassie are always trying to get me to go with their church, but I always feel really skeptical when they talk about their life-changing experiences.
Yeah, well, I was pretty skeptical, too, before I went. Like, I didn't want to waste my spring break. But when you're there, you just feel like you have a purpose for your life. And although we couldn't sleep because there were mariachi bands and the baño smelled really bad and we worked 12 hours a day in the hot sun, you really feel like you're doing something good and you have a purpose and you actually want to get out of bed in the morning.
I just feel uncomfortable ministering to people when I don't even know my own beliefs. Besides, evangelism has always really creeped me out.
Yeah, well, we talk about evangelism, but it's probably not what you're thinking. We don't think evangelism is necessarily saving souls or getting into heaven, but it's more about creating a global community and finding out what everyone has to offer to our community and just making it a good society. And it's so easy to go to Mexico and just give charity and not focus on the relationships that are being formed. But I think that's really what we're there for.
Do you think those kinds of relationships are even possible today? There's been so much racism and fighting over border patrol and immigration.
Yeah, well, that's why it's so important to try. It's so important to learn about other people's perspectives. And everything that's happened in Mexico has really, really taught me about all the other events in the world, and even in Eugene. And I've just been talking to people and trying to get the government to change their position on some issues.
You can't even vote.
Well, yeah, I know, but do you think we should sit back and wait until we turn 18? You can't just wake up on your birthday and know how to make an informed decision. Our whole lives, people have been telling us that we're too young to care or understand. And it's just not fair. And I just really think it's time to get the youth involved. My church has even been organizing local mission trips for the middle school kids and even other things for the littler kids. Anyway, Mission to Mexico has really impacted our church. My pastor has been advocating for change for years, and now more people are joining him. It's about time somebody put morality into politics.
That's so typical, making it sound like only Christians are capable of caring about moral issues.
No, that's not what I meant at all. I'm sorry. I just find that faith is a good way to inspire people. You've heard that verse, right? Gentiles or Jews, slave nor free, man or woman no more. Well, anyway, the Gentiles were the non-Jews, and the early Christians understood that they had to reach out to everybody, and not just the people that already believed what they believed. We've been holding town meetings in our church, and it's given us other equally valid viewpoints. It's kind of like the debate we had in history last week.
That was probably the only interesting thing we've ever done in history.
Yeah.
People got pretty fired up, you especially. Are you sure you were taking all the viewpoints as equally valid?
Touché. I'm really trying to work on it, though. Part of the church's mission is to become a listening church. We still want people to be able to speak passionately about what they believe, but still keep an open mind. Debate's the kind of wrong word, I guess. It's more discussion, really. I'm not saying it always goes smoothly. I mean, morals and values are sometimes a really touchy subject. Just like in history, I guess people do get really fired up.
I guess that's why they call them hot issues.
That was the worst pun I've ever heard.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I'm glad to see you're not shying away from the touchy subjects.
The main reason I like the Bible is because it's still radical after hundreds and hundreds of years. And you know that passage I mentioned earlier about the Jews and the Gentiles? Well, my church talks about that passage all the time after they became open and affirming a couple years ago. And, you know, that passage actually applies to a lot of things. everything we've mentioned here, like race, religion, and sexual preference.
I could support that.
I think you're more of an activist than you let on.
Yeah, my mom became an environmentalist a few years back when gasoline went over $5 a gallon. I guess some of it rubbed off on me. But don't tell anyone.
I think I could learn from you on that one. The church has this Power and Light committee, and I think they're doing really good things, but I never got too involved.
It becomes habit after a while. Buying things with less packaging, turning off lights, taking public transit, it's really pretty easy.
Yeah. And besides being a good thing to do, I think it's a good, powerful message for Christianity, because some Christians think that Jesus will just return in this fiery, epic battle, and then our world will be destroyed, and then conservation of our environment won't even matter. But I just think it's not right to give up on our world. And Dan says that instead of waiting for Jesus to bring us to his kingdom, we should bring his kingdom here on earth.
That sounds like it pretty much sums up your beliefs right there.
Yeah, well, good timing too.
Yeah, I still don't think any of this is really possible.
Yeah, well, it can't hurt to try, right?